Today on the Not Fade Away podcast, we have legendary Seattle guitarist Andy Coe. He has a deep-rooted presence in the jam band scene in the Pacific Northwest. He also has a very long-running residency at the Blue Moon Tavern in Seattle. And he's built this reputation for having this experiential, expansive, mind-blowing improv style that's heavily inspired, I think, by the Grateful Dead and other artists, which we are going to deep dive into right now. We're so excited to have him here. Andy!
Welcome, Andy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so Gord.
We might as well get things started. Obviously, I'm always curious how you even got attracted. Where did you find that bug for the live music, and what kept you going? Was it like a Grateful Dead concert? Was it what made you even want to do this crazy life of a musician?
I come from a family of musicians, so that's kind of nice, and it's nice having them be accepting of that career choice. But primarily, my mom was the musician around the house growing up. She played flute and piano, and was one of the early music therapists in the Northwest in the '60s, and taught locally. And I learned a lot from her. She's always listening to jazz and blues, and playing classical music, so that kind of got inside me in a big way, I think. And I was playing piano since I was, really little, probably 2 or something.
2? Okay, let's go back to you. 2-year-old Andy. Describe, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you...
I'm
Who
both.
is 2-year-old Andy?
I'm both.
You're
I'd
both,
say.
okay.
If it's possible, I don't know.
And then, take us through a few decades here as you're, getting your whole music career as a young human on this planet and absorbing all of this.
Yeah. So I studied piano, I don't know, till I was about, I think, 8 years old. So about 6 years. And then I switched to violin, which my grandfather played violin. So that was kind of cool. And I did that for about 4 years. And then my parents let me get a guitar because I'd wanted a guitar for years. They're like, try this first, try this. And then they're finally like, okay, we'll get you a guitar. And I was hooked as soon as I started playing that thing. That was pretty much it.
How old were you at that point? How old?
7th grade-ish.
Okay.
And what were you listening to at that time? What was getting you going?
That was kind of like right when I was just found out about, or just like started getting into the Grateful Dead. I'd seen and heard a little bit when I was younger, but hadn't really gotten into them. So I was mostly, at that point, the grunge thing in Seattle was huge, and that was just blowing up, and I would kind of see those guys around town, and so I was looked up to them and was really inspired by a lot of that. And my older brother turned me on to, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, that kind of stuff. So that was some of my favorite stuff. And I was a big Bob Marley fan. I had a friend give me a Bob Marley CD in 6th grade, which kind of changed my life.
Did you see a lot of Grateful Dead concerts? Did you? I know I saw them in Seattle.
So I kind of got into them probably 8th grade. Really, I kind of got really into them, and then they came through Seattle the next year. They hadn't been to Seattle in a number of years. I'm not sure exactly why. I heard people's thoughts, but I don't know. But so I saw them in '94 and '95 in Seattle.
Yeah.
And that was I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I believe. And it was amazing. It blew me away. First song I ever heard them play was Shakedown Street, and it blew my mind. Yeah.
And so where did you go from there on your journey, especially in Seattle? So the Seattle music scene, you went away to school, right, to study music? Tell us about that, and then...
Yeah. Well, I started a band in high school, kind of a more psychedelic jam band thing, and so that's kind of where I started exploring that stuff initially. But then I went to music school, University of North Texas, got a bunch of good scholarships there, and so I was like, hey, I'll go check this out. And it was amazing. Met a bunch of great people. It was like in a class with like Nora Jones, and a bunch of my people in my class were playing with like Erykah Badu and just all these amazing musicians. It was really cool. Then I moved to New York City after that, and connected with a big mentor of mine, Rashid Ali,
Oh
who was
wow.
John Coltrane's last drummer.
Incredible.
And that was amazing to get to hang with him and learn from him. Yeah.
So how do you take, coming out of school with all this knowledge and meeting all these incredible musicians, and then how do you navigate your career and coming back to the Pacific Northwest? How did that happen?
I'd been gone for a while, and I wanted to come back and rekindle all the friendships and hang with my family and we live in like one of the most beautiful places in the world. Don't tell anyone, but it's pretty good living out here. You all know
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I don't know. It just sort of just always kind of tried to play music with people that I like and music that's open enough for the moment to sort of dictate what to do and help you
So
figure out your path.
I see that you play a lot of live music, obviously, which is the whole impetus of this podcast to talk about the magic behind the live music, and just it's difficult, going out there, even in the Seattle scene, even when you play all the time, whatever. It's not the easiest. Everyone thinks it's a lot more glorious than it is. So, what is it that keeps you going, and what's your thoughts on the live music scene in Seattle? It once was burgeoning, obviously, in the '90s, like you were mentioning earlier, but
Yeah.
but what's it like now to be in Seattle and even travel through the United States? And it's a grind, I know, but what keeps you doing it, basically?
I mean, and I think all of us know this, but there's these moments during live performances where something happens, and from my perspective, playing music, it kind of feels like it's already written and it's just sort of unfolding, and you're just like sort of facilitating it. You're not like trying to really do anything. It's just sort of happening through you and through all of us, right? And that's kind of what I live for. Those moments. It's like kind of like the greatest high I've ever experienced from the music. And I'm kind of chasing that, but at the same time, it's a defined thing where you can't, not something you can force. You know what I mean? It just has to happen. But that's what I'm chasing.
The Andy Coe band experience is so different than, I mean, when I was first brought down, it was Bellingham, and some friends were like, you got to come check out Andy Coe. And so we ran the border, and here we are, cross border podcast. So excited to have, be talking to you across the border.
Yeah.
And it was such a mind-blowing experience. And like you mentioned the psychedelics, and you mentioned, it's like you don't even have to be high, it just you go on this journey. What are some of the weirdest things that have happened during your shows, I guess I would say, and how it evolved from the Blue Moon into now you're really getting a huge following?
It's kind of weird. Yeah, I guess I first started this thing in Seattle almost 21 years ago, and it's wild to see how the music's sort of gotten even more popular since then. You know what I'm saying? Like the scene's kind of gotten crazy, but um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on over here. I mean,
Yeah, no, ramble on. But like, was there a really weird experience that you have had that you can remember, that you can share, that happened like during a show or on stage? I don't know, some kind of moment where you're like, that was a crazy moment.
I mean, there's been a million of them, but the thing that just popped in my head when he said that was a friend of mine. Like I was taking a solo, like eyes closed, totally into it, and this is back in the day, a smaller venue, totally raging, and a large friend of mine who probably weighed over 200 pounds decided to climb up on my amp behind me and jump on my shoulders while I was in this zone taking a solo. It was kind of shocking.
And the show just went on.
Yeah, I just kept going. I didn't fall, luckily.
Okay, and like, okay, go back to like the Blue Moon Tavern and how it all,
Yeah.
how you're building this tribe.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, initially we were just doing one weekend a year for the Jerry Garcia celebration. That's like the first event I started that kind of spawned this thing. And eventually we were like, man, this is way too much fun. We need to play more than one weekend a year. So we started. My friend Tim Dooley was working at the Blue Moon, and and I was like, hey, can we get a night? And it was slow at first. I mean, it picked up after a year or two. It started getting pretty solid, and it just sort of kept going. I mean, and that's been a wild ride there. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happening all the time there.
So what night of the week is that? Is
It's
that
a Monday night.
yeah?
Are people partying on Monday nights? Or are they like it's right?
Yeah, it's the only night I could get free with all my bandmates.
So are you playing every Monday night at the Blue Moon? Is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
Religiously, like you never miss a Monday, no matter what.
Well, I missed quite a few if I'm on a tour or doing something else, but pretty much we're always there.
And what's the theme of that? The Monday night, is that a dead inspired night, or is that your?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But we kind of take it all over the place.
Because I'm in your family a little bit, whether you realize we're brothers. Because I also play in a Grateful that what we mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
GDBC, you may have heard of us, and
yeah, I have.
so it's kind of we've actually, some of the people that put on the Element Festival, and they were like, you should get Andy Coe to come up to Vancouver and sit in on your shows and whatnot. So we'll have to talk about that offline, but
Yeah, we read.
for sure. But your names come up for sure. So
Okay, so you've got a
Cool.
huge inaugural festival that you're launching very soon in July. I'm coming, by the way.
Right on.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very excited. Tell us about where this inspiration came from, what it's going to be like, what you hope this whole experience, in July is
it's
going
a
to be like.
Codeown, right? The Codeown.
Codeown.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I have concepts in my brain, but I've never done anything like this, and it sounded like fun. And my one thing was I wanted to keep it pretty small and regional-ish. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, my friend Jen, who's on our council, was calling it the Codeown from when we first started talking about it a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, we got to get a better name than that, but that's the name that kind of stuck.
I love it. I love it. It's
I
perfect.
think it's great. I remembered it, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
so,
it
I
should be
mean,
pretty
how's
fun.
it gonna go? How's it gonna be?
How's it gonna?
I mean,
how's it
it's
gonna go?
like
Just
10 acres, forest, people camping out, bunch of great music. I'm going to be playing in several other bands there, and ACB's doing a bunch of sets as well as a secret set that's got a theme that you'll find out about.
So this is going to be the beginning of the end, basically. Like it's a whole new
It
journey.
should be really fun. I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of musicians and friends that I've known for a long time. And
What's the
making
date
good
of that,
music.
and where is it?
It's on Harstein Island.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
what's the date? Just for our
July 17th, 18th, 19th.
just for our viewers to know.
Okay, as a bit of a weather nerd that I am, I just want to know how do you handle the weather in the Pacific Northwest? Like, how do you beat the rain? Do you
It's-
love the rain, or do you love it?
I mean, it's a gamble. Like, sadly, even in the summertime, if you try to throw an outdoor event, you never know.
Yeah.
But I'm crossing my fingers. I mean, late July is usually good. So
But like generally, in winter when it's flooding, atmospheric rivers, are you a fan? Are you a fan?
yeah, I mean, I grew up in Seattle, so I'm kind of used to it.
Okay,
Gets a little annoying, but not too
favorite
bad.
Seattle venue? What is your favorite Seattle venue to play?
Oh
Just
man,
curious.
right now, I don't know. I mean, probably the Blue Moon because I play there all the time, and they need some love and support. So
All
I'll throw
right.
that out there.
Okay, yeah.
So you obviously have mentioned quite a few instruments that you've played. I know you play guitar. Obviously, you're proficient in that. Do you still play? Do you dabble in the fiddle or the piano or any of that stuff still, or that's
Not a ton. I'm trying to figure out the guitar, and I've apparently got an infinite amount of
that's for sure.
stuff to learn.
Yeah, like where do you hope to go right now with your music, and like what are you working on, or what are you learning right now exactly?
I mean, mostly what I'm working on is kind of in the jazz realm. Just trying to get better at oh, I don't know. I'm really working on chordal stuff right now, honestly. Like the Barry Harris system is pretty cool. Um, but yeah, just been trying to mostly most of the stuff I work on when I have my own time at least is jazz oriented because that's a huge part of what I love and where I come from.
And I've been noticing that you speak of, the crossover between the Grateful Dead and jazz, which we all know they were quite improvisational in the time. So maybe if you can tell us a little bit of how that inspires your music, because I know you say you like jazz, but when I've seen you, you're obviously heavily influenced by the blues and all kind of other aspects of music as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I don't know if it's good or bad, but I really love most kinds of music that I've heard, and I'm trying to get proficient at playing, being able to play a bunch of different styles of music. So it takes a while, but I'm getting there, I think, you know. But yeah, definitely primarily I guess jazz, blues, rock, I don't know, funk and reggae, kind of world ambient stuff. I don't know. I like a lot of different stuff, but trying to get it all in one thing.
But like, what is the whole creative process of your Andy Coe band experience? Because it's, I mean, from the guy that you have right there side stage, who's literally, I don't know what he's doing. I was so floored taking video of the guy who does all the visuals.
Oh, Steve Kennedy Williams, yeah, he's kind of like our fifth Beatle. He's been taping and documenting the Northwest music scene for I don't know over 20 years, and he's been recording my shows for that long, and he's in the last handful of years he started doing lights, and now the stuff you're seeing, he's got all the oils and the water lights and stuff, and that's really cool. So
It's
he's getting
very
really
cool.
good
I've
at that.
never
Yeah,
seen anything like that, actually.
yeah, it's amazing.
So, about like, tell us a little bit about your band relationship and how you guys flow and how you found each other.
I met the keyboardist Gary in college in Texas. He's from Indiana, and then years later I dragged him out here, and he was one of the first people who was with me on the 21 years ago on the first Jerry celebration. And the other two guys joined a couple of years after that. Um, and I'd had a bass player and drummer who were awesome, but who weren't like super into the Dead. So I was trying to find people who were really into the Dead to do this thing. And I I knew Scott, our drummer, and Chris, our bass player, separately, and I knew they both loved the Dead. And Chris would come and sit in with us sometimes and play bass. And Scott had a bunch of other cool bands, and then I found out that they had a band together. So I was like, okay, I need to get these guys. And initially, it was two drum sets. It was Scott Goodwin and Bob Reese, um, and they had been playing together since they were teenagers, basically. So they had this telepathic drummer thing, which was really cool. But eventually Bob got a teaching gig at a school and had to bail on the band. But we still have him sometimes.
do you remember the first gig you ever did? And like what that felt like, and is that what really got you, or did that scare the crap out of you and you were wondering if you'll ever do it again, type of thing?
Yeah, I had a lot of like stage fright when I was younger.
Oh,
Like
Interesting.
I couldn't perform in front of people. I'd be like shaking too much.
What made
But
you go through that barrier?
I've just kind of had to, in order to play music, I had to go out, seek people out, and put things together and book performances and just do it. So I just kept doing it and tried to tried to not give a crap about what anyone thinks or says, and just do what I want to do.
so you're completely free of that now? Like, you don't have any process before you go and perform, or you do have a process?
I don't have a process, but I've learned to adapt, I guess, and deal with it, or and maybe convert some of that energy into a better place or something.
Do you have a little pre-show ritual?
Not really.
No,
Yeah.
nothing, nada.
I probably used to, but I
Yeah.
play so many shows, it's just like, you know,
Where do where am I supposed to be? Where do I go?
yeah, sometimes you're running, getting in last minute, or they're early and hanging out for hours, and
Do you
yeah.
enjoy the road when you go on the road, or do you prefer just to be a homebody and just keep playing live in Seattle and maybe somewhere
Uh,
close by?
yeah, I like both. I definitely like going on tour. I haven't done as much of it since COVID, but I definitely like getting out of the city. I think it's good to do
I don't
because
think
we're
I've
kind of
seen
in a
we
little
have
bubble way over here in the
we haven't
corner,
seen
you
you
know.
up here in Vancouver.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's going on?
I know. I want to. I mean, yeah. I'll tell you
It's much easier for
off
you
camera. I
guys
got a
than us,
couple
I'll tell you
reasons,
that.
but
You gotta go reasons. Yeah, that's usually the scenario. That's
but I
usually.
do want to come up there soon. I hope I get to.
If you do, you'll have to let us know.
For sure, I definitely will. Yeah, crossing borders is crazy always, but especially right now because America's so weird right now. Like I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
Okay. Coffee or whiskey?
oh man, right now coffee, but in the past whiskey.
Weed or mushrooms? Just kidding.
Oh man, both.
That's my guy. There you go.
Vinyl or streaming?
Wait, say that again.
Vinyl or streaming?
Vinyl or stream? Oh, vinyl or streaming? Oh, yeah, it just depends. They're both fantastic. I mean, vinyl's gonna sound amazing, but streaming you get a live performance. So I don't know. Tough call. Y'all got some tough questions over here.
We're trying to stump you.
Okay,
That's our job.
what is your favorite song to play? Dead song to play? Like if you had to choose only one.
uh,
Or just your favorite Grateful Dead song. Do you even
Yeah.
have one?
I don't have a single favorite. I'm one of those people that likes a lot of
I have the
things.
same problem, so I get
But
it.
if you had to choose just one, you're being
So, like
forced
just
to
only
choose
one I get to play for the rest of my life, kind of
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I hope that
Um,
doesn't happen to you.
I don't know. Maybe the Terrapin Suite. It's got a lot in there I could play with, and it's got some improv parts I could take wherever I feel like.
Okay,
Nice.
let's talk more about the improv of how you
Yeah.
operate. Can you dive into a little bit because I don't think musicians. I mean, the improv thing. How do you navigate that? How does that journey for you at every show? Do tell.
It's different every time. Sometimes it works better than others. Sometimes you don't think it's working, but it is working, and vice versa. It's a weird balance. But the most important thing is everyone on stage has their ears open and is able to communicate and react in real time to each other. That's the most important aspect because that's what we're doing.
We are calling it a conversation in another
Yeah,
podcast, and it's just the improvisation. So the guys that you play with, obviously, you guys you get along really well, and you know each other, and can communicate through the music. Correct?
yeah, yeah. We've played a lot together. We don't rehearse. We just play at the Blue Moon. That's our rehearsal, and we do a lot of jamming. We've done a lot of jamming. So I guess there's things we can fall back if it's not feeling good. But I'm like I was saying, I'm always trying to find those moments. It's almost like for me, it's almost like a meditation thing slash lucid dream kind of new reality where you're free to do anything your imagination can imagine. You know,
Full
that's what it
altered
feels like when you
state.
get in there, and it amplifies. I mean, and it helps. Like the audience is half of that equation because without y'all, we wouldn't be doing it. Um, and the energy y'all are giving to us, we're feeling that too and trying to figure it out
I think what I really
in the
love
moments.
about what you're doing too, though, is the energy. Like the energy is so high, and I mean, for example, with Dead and Company is kind of like a slower. Everybody talks about it. Like it's be real. Everybody talks about how Dead and Company, like John Mayer's awesome, but it's a slower pace, and it's really nice to have this fast-paced, energetic, swirly, right? And I mean, how would you
Yeah.
explain? The following, like the follow, who are the people that are coming to your shows, and why do you think they're telling someone else, and so on and so on, and it's
I
growing.
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of them, and I've kind of built relationships with them over the last couple decades. But yeah, I mean, it's shocking to me. I'm always surprised when bunch of people show up, honestly. I mean, because I still play shows for 0 people or few amounts of people, like all over the place all the time. It's a weird existence. But I'm just always really feel blessed when anyone shows up, honestly.
Well, it's also really important what you're doing too, because even what Bob Weir said, before he passed, and we all know, like, there's this incredible treasure trough of music that has been created through the Grateful Dead family that needs to be passed on to other generations for them to know. So it's good that offspring like you and us and like whoever are passing the torch down and letting, because I've been noticing a lot of kids are starting to notice, which is quite
Yeah.
amazing. Without, and Jerry's been gone a long time, so it's pretty incredible. In some ways, I feel like the Grateful Dead's bigger now than it was when I was following them.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was kind of trying to allude to earlier. It's weird. Like it's when I mean, I don't know. I've been playing Grateful Dead music since I first got into them when I was like, I don't know, eighth or ninth grade. Me and my brother would come home and jam. But we were kind of like not like outcasts, but we were, some of the small group of students in our school that loved the Grateful Dead. You know what I mean? And and it's just, yeah, it's really just, I don't know. It's really picked up steam over the last 10, 15 years, and like now Jerry's been gone longer than they were even around, I think, right? And it's like, but it's more popular than ever, maybe. It's
I
weird.
guess John Mayer is to some credit to that, I guess.
Yeah, I think for sure that when they got him, that was a conscious move to kind of try to bring it up a level, maybe.
And then, like, where do you see yourself in the puzzle now? We've got J-Rad and Dark Star Orchestra and all these, and GDBC, and right, like all these, you know, evolving Grateful Dead bands and cover
Yeah.
bands. So, where do you see yourself, and how do you differentiate what you're doing?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know where I see myself, honestly. I'm just doing what I love to do and trying to keep it as real as I can. It is. There are a ton of bands touring around doing it now, so it does make touring a little bit more difficult for the bands that do what we do. Because they'll be like, "Oh, we already have a dead band that week or that month," and so it's a little trickier. But it's amazing because like just to see all these bands popping up and they're so great, like a ton of amazing bands everywhere, and every area's got them, and it's pretty cool. But I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just gonna keep on trying to make the best music I can make, and trying to keep getting better at what I do, and that's my job.
And you also, obviously dive into original music, right? So
Yeah.
how do you balance that? I always find that, I get caught up myself in that, that catalog that we were just talking about, but you have your own music, and then how do you balance that in your life? Because people just want to hear the Dead, but you have something to say out in the world. So what do you do?
I play in 15 bands.
15!
That's it?
Probably. I mean,
How come
probably
not
more,
16?
honestly. I mean, I don't know. I play in so many bands that like most of the music when I get to work on when I'm working on stuff, mostly what I'm working on or listening to is stuff that I have to learn uh for a gig, for work, because that's what I do. So it's not all Grateful Dead, but a lot. I can play a lot of Grateful Dead. But we know we have about, I don't know, a smattering of originals we sneak in there sometimes. Like 10 or 12 that we get in there. And it's fun to see people's faces when we play a original song because some people just look confused. Some people like think they know what it is, and they'll tell someone it's, oh, this is the Brent song or something. It's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
All right,
Yeah.
I would love to know. Okay, we know that you play guitar and you play in bands all day long, but what are you doing? I just want to know, what are you doing when you're not playing? Like, what do you like to do other than
I like
music?
to swim and float
Okay, floating. I love
as much as I
this.
can.
Lake, ocean,
River?
River,
river.
lakes are nice too.
There's gonna be a river at the Codeown. Is there? Is there gonna be a river, or is there gonna be a lake, or
No,
what's the?
sadly not.
Okay, what's the
But
setup?
we're gonna keep if it goes well and we want to keep doing it, we're gonna keep searching for the perfect spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so bring floaties. Yeah, like what else are you into? I'm just curious, like Andy outside of the music scene, or is there an Andy outside of the music scene? Is the
I
question.
mean, I'm pretty much 100% music. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm also doing boring stuff like, I was like working in my yard today.
so you got a bit of a green thumb.
All the normal stuff. But yeah,
Okay, so if you
I'm
had
pretty
to
much
choose three artists, dead or alive, to play in a band with right now today, who would it be?
if I got to pick three people to have a band with, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
That's a crazy question.
that's a tough one.
I kind of like these twisters. Like I want to know something
uh,
off the beaten track here.
I don't know. I feel like a John Bonham, Bootsy Collins, and maybe like I don't know, Larry Young or someone on organ keys would be pretty
Nice.
cool.
Wow.
But
Nice.
there's a bunch of combinations I could think of like that would just be my ultimates.
So you look for a rhythm section, basically, is what you're.
Yeah, you find a good rhythm section.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Any advice for, up and coming young artists and musicians? What advice would you have given your younger self?
Just get out there and start doing it. That's you just got to get out there and start doing it. I got a lot of people ask me that, and they're like, how do we start? You just got to book some lame gig somewhere, and we've all done a ton of those, and you just got to start doing it, you know. And if you do something good that's good with enough regularity, people eventually figure it out. It seems like. So you just gotta start doing it.
I know Steph likes to ask this question, but I'm going to ask it this time. What do you do about all the groupies?
That's a myth.
I know.
That's all a myth. I don't know if it is. Is it? Is it? Come on.
Well,
Do
no,
tell.
it's
We want all
mostly
the
a myth.
dirt
We have to tell
on this
people that.
podcast. Like all of the dirt.
Most of the groupies are like just like friends of mine for the most part. People I've known for a long time at least. Yeah.
Okay, has there ever, like, this is gonna be my last big question, but has there ever been a, pivotal moment in your life or in your career where you really were just like, I can't, like, this is not working, or some kind of a, plot twist in your career that you had to take everything, something challenging, basically, that brought you back?
Um, I mean, I did get a RSI injury in both my hands about 5 or 6 years ago, and I couldn't use my hands for months. I was contemplating what other career path I could take. But I've pretty much just done music for, my whole life. So,
So how did you tackle, like, recovering and healing and getting through the mindset of that?
um, I ended up eventually finding a really good occupational therapist who was the first person who could tell me what was happening to me. And he was also a deadhead. He used to go to the country fair, so we kind of hit it off, and I played him some songs and stuff. But he diagnosed me properly and told me what I needed to do, and it's mostly a lot of stretching multiple times every day that I just have to do. Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you, like, before we go, if you were to have a big, as they say, hairy, audacious goal in music and live music, and what are you trying to go after at this point? I mean, I know you got what you got going, but is there anything that you're dreaming of doing, like playing the Hollywood Bowl or anything like that, or?
I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I'm just, as long as I get to make music that I like and enjoy, and hopefully other people do too, I'll be happy. I'm not too worried about trying to take over the world or anything. But I'd love to play the Hollywood Bowl. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I'm very happy that my passport is in good working order and I can continue to
Sweet.
run the border because it's only a 2-hour jaunt. And yeah, no, I love it. Like the Thanksgiving 3-day runs, all of it.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many, it's evolving. The whole experience is evolving. And I'm sucked in.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's so great to have you and
Yeah,
chat with you. Thanks for coming on the Not Fade Away podcast.
Yeah, it's been great to have you,
Yeah.
Andy, and hope to have you again.
Yep.
Thanks so much for having me. A really nice chatting with y'all, and hope to see you in the flesh soon.
Yeah, no, I'll see you on Herstein Island.
And you are welcome.
Awesome.
You are welcome up here in Vancouver.
All right, I'm gonna come crash your party one of these.
Exactly.
Please do. Please do.
All right.